Ah, je l'aime. Voilà, madame, voilà, merci.
Journey of Mohamed va remettre le livre au Premier ministre. Et au vice-premier ministre, Paul Béranger. Et selon la liste qu'on m'a remise, c'est Zakir qui va procéder à offrir les livres à la liste qu'on m'a donnée. J'appelle Ramgoolam. Navin Ramgoolam, J'avoue, quand on décrit ces noms, on dirait des élections. Le livre étant lancé officiellement, donc je demande officiellement au Premier ministre, le Navin Ramgoolam, de venir vous adresser la parole. Sous nos applaudissements, bien entendu.
The Deputy Prime Minister, the leadership, the Chief Justice, DPP, State Domain, the community to the former Vice President, distinguished guests. First of all, I want to thank the Mohamed family for having asked me to pay tribute to the man I used to call By Yusuf. I've known him since 1967 when he was a candidate for the Independence Party. And then I saw him in the National Assembly. Well, I was very impressed by his oratory and his eloquence, both in English and in French. In fact, I thought his father, Sir Abdul Razak Mohamed, must have been very proud of him, because Sir Abdul could not speak Creole very well. He had an accent, and he often misinterpreted things. I won't go into this interview because it might be embarrassing. But yet, within one generation, somebody who came from India couldn't speak Creole very well. Within one generation, his son could speak fluent English and French. And then I left Mauritius in 1968 and never met Yusuf again until 1976 when I came back the Mauritius. In the 1976 election, Sir Abdul Razak lost his seat again, but Yousuf got elected as leader. I remember a few things then. I know he was offered by the then Prime Minister, Sir Yousuf Mohamed, the Ministry of Labour. That was the very ministry where I believe Sir Abdul Razak told him, accept everything but not the Ministry of Labour. It's hardly because he knew there would be clashes with my good friend now Deputy Prime Minister and Paul Bélanger, and they had clashes. But it's important to remember in politics, they had terrible clashes, but they developed a mutual respect for each other. I didn't have much, I won't go beyond my time.
No, you may.
I didn't have much contact then after that with Yousuf, except for the occasional meeting when he came to London. He would visit his brother, Mael. I haven't seen him, but maybe he's here. He's here. I thought he would be here. Mael. I was renting a flat for Mael in the basement. And I was studying law then. And then I entered politics in 1991, and I received then some good advice from him, I must say. He also assisted us in the election petition we had at the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council, together with Sir Guy Tonjbal and Sir Geoffrey Cox, who later on became Attorney General in the UK. And then we met occasionally, as this film said, at weddings and funerals. Not the only times we met. But I remember his sense of humor at the Hotel of Ali, and also my good friend Mr. Domain. He had a sense of humor, and I remember his jokes. I was telling Shakil I would love to share them with you. But I hesitate, I see the Lord Chief Justice, and Madam Chief Justice here. I hesitate. But Shakil tells me I can venture to tell you one of his jokes, but I will delete the expletives like Dixon did in the Watergate tapes. I remember I was at Dan Bima's father's funeral. He died after he was 100. And after seeing the body notice, we all came out. And there was a group of people. Kalash Prag was there, former president. And Yousuf said something to me that took me aback. He said, Prime Minister, I hope you don't mind my telling you this. But you must, your ministers are scared of you. I think you're too hard on them. It's not a good thing. You should let them say what they want to say. Because if you don't, then they won't tell you anything. Because when they're scared, they won't tell anything. I said to him, I didn't realize I was scaring him. It's like my friend DPM does with his people. But then Kalash Pride said to him, but Yousuf, you're giving advice to the Prime Minister. Why don't you say what Sir Yousuf told you to tell him? And he said, look, that's an old story. I won't go into it. So we all said, no, we want to know what did Sir Yousuf tell you to tell him. And then he told us. He said, when he was a minister in cabinet, first time, he wanted to show to Sir Yousuf that he was very diligent, that he was reading all his papers. Some people don't read their papers. But he wanted to show that he was reading everything. So when the cabinet papers were discussed, he would have an opinion on every paper, be it agriculture, be it whatever. So he said, Sir Yousuf looked at him, but didn't say anything. And he thought he had impressed Sir Yousuf. So the next meeting, he did the same thing. He spoke on every paper. Against us, Shiraga said nothing. In the third cabinet meeting, he again started expressing himself. And he said, Sir Yusuf took his glasses off, put it on the table, and said to him, young man, you seem to have an opinion on everything. He said, yes, sir, I've read all the papers. He said, listen to me. I've got your two, guess what, in my hand. You have two choices. Either I crush them and then throw them against the wall, or I'll throw them against the wall and then crush them. What do you want? He said, from then onwards, you only spoke on the paper. Destiny was happy that he volunteered, I must say, to assist Navin Ramgoolam, my lawyer, and my friend Navin Ramgoolam, when I was arrested in 2015. Not only he stood by me, but I saw his undeniable qualities of the law. He was a fearless advocate, a master cross-examiner. I would describe him as a tiger ready to pounce. I wouldn't say lion, tiger. His advocacy and strategic thinking was of great assistance to me and to my other defense lawyers. And I'll never forget, after my arrest, I was taken from the Mukha detention center straight to the Central CID at Vikase. And you know, there, we were all surprised. I'm sure my friend Navin Ramgoolam will remember. But he was horrified to see the then Attorney General, Honorable Yerigani. He came there to watch my interrogation. It was quite unbelievable that an Attorney General should not know such elementary law, that it shouldn't be there. But Yusuf, as I said, he was fearless. He immediately told him in no uncertain words, I won't repeat what he said, that as Attorney General, he had no business to be there and should leave immediately. And I can tell you, he departed unceremoniously but very quickly. And reflecting on his life, he once remarked that he had no regrets. He had lived his life the way he wanted to live with his family. And that is the best way, I tell people. People worry about lots of things in life. But the best way is to do it like Frank Sinatra said. Live it your way. The story of Yusuf unfolds as he wished it to be told. A narrative shaped by his choices, his victories, and the quiet dignity in which he faced challenges. I remember when Shakil was arrested again on fake charges. He was there. I was there all the time. But he couldn't help it. The first time I saw him cry. I never saw him cry before. In Dr. Aladdin's biography, it tells the story of a man whose life work left an indelible mark on the political and legal landscape of Mauritius. It delves into his remarkable career, examining his role in shaping a modern democratic Mauritius. Yousuf Mohamed was not merely a bystander to history. He was an active participant in history. One who never hesitated to voice his convictions. Even my good friend, the Attorney General, would know when we were discussing my case, we had disagreements about strategy. In tracing his career, his life, I think Dr. Aladdin has sought to capture the essence of what made Yusuf a towering figure in Mauritian society. He still will remember him and a man who had a passion for justice, who defended freedom and upheld the values of a multicultural and a diverse nation. His brilliance as a lawyer earned him his national acclaim, and his contributions to the legal profession remain unparalleled. To me, he was a legal, if you ask me for one word to describe him, he was a legal luminary. Beyond politics and law, Yousuf was also a man of humility and generosity, while being a gentleman of the old school. And despite his successes, he kept his human touch, always extending, I know and I'm sure you know, extending his services pro bono for those in need, regardless of the background. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le Premier ministre.